So, first question, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your background, just kind of outside of trading?
Okay. Professionally, I'm an electrical engineer at the moment. I work basically doing project management, building oil and gas facilities. So I'm a completions lead. Basically oversee and manage all contractors building modules for different oil and gas operators.
Nice.
My background is engineering and finance, so that's kind of yeah, that's me in a nutshell, really.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. What led you initially to try so you met us originally or me through Blue Edge and all that, but what initially led you to try that product and give it a try?
The SGA, I found out about the SGA and the original automation. And at that point in time, I'd been trading manually unsuccessfully for a few years and things before that. And then I was down the EA path and then I come across Blue Edge crypto and then got into there and then saw the SGA and what it can do. And yeah, from there it just developed further on.
Nice. Cool. Very cool. So, right around, right before you started using our product, what kind of challenges were you facing?
Before then, I mean, I never had a set sort of trading rule. I wouldn't follow. So I wasn't disciplined, I guess is the right word for it. I'd try this thing and it worked for a little bit and then it wouldn't. And then there was a lot of second guessing and
Yeah,
never really just kind of tied myself down and stuck to one thing for an infinite amount of time.
I
But
see.
I think that's part of due to the circumstances. Yeah, just trial and error to find something that works.
Nice. Okay, cool. So can you describe the changes that you started noticing, like when you started using the SGA and then some of the education that we were teaching, like the volume profiling, like what changes were you seeing?
I think personally for me, it helped to reduce the noise. So, I mean, specifically now, you know how I trade is primarily now with volume profiles, market structure, and then
Y-
I use the old SGA and the Delta Prime is pretty much the only tools that I use now. Is nearly actually that's it really, and I think just the confidence of like being in the community and being able to shoot ideas off people like that, and then
Yeah,
yeah, I mean that's really where I guess I've sort of taken that step up is to kind of reduce the noise and find what works.
nice. So was there like a specific moment that you realized that the products were starting to work? Like, oh, like some traction? Do you remember like a moment in time where that happened?
Yeah, I think when I stepped away from paper trading and started to actually use real funds, then it became a lot more real,
Mm,
I guess. And then the trades became a lot more real. I think at that moment, then you started to see, right, this works, this works, this works. And then you review it in, like, obviously, I keep sort of a journal, a trading journal, and then you can eliminate what doesn't work and what does work. And then for me, that has been able to give or instill confidence in my own decisions that, a trade's always there. I don't need to chase a trade. Right?
yeah,
I look at it on a monthly scale as opposed to a daily scale, right?
yeah.
And,
So it's
you know,
a pretty drastic change. I mean, it was pretty noticeable click.
yeah, a big noticeable thing. I mean, shifting away from looking at it in a monetary value into a percentage value per month,
Yeah,
that also, that also helped me to, I guess, be a little bit more disciplined in my approach.
nice. That's awesome. So how would you describe your situation now versus like before you were introduced to me and now through PrimeIQ and the more advanced tools? Can you describe those two states?
Yeah, I think the early stages, right? Like I got degrees in international business and finance, so I've always been involved in the markets. But
Nice.
I guess when you're not involved on the desk itself or within the industry, as I stepped away and moved into engineering, it's a bit lonely. I guess it's not lonely. It's like when you want to trade, it's good to have a community,
Yeah.
right? And like a community is not going to judge you. Like you can throw your ideas around and this and that.
Yeah.
That's been a big, big improvement for me is to have like somewhere where I can jump on in Discord and shoot some ideas and say someone will say, no, that's bullshit or no, that's good or check this out or things like that. That's been a big, big help for me. Having somewhere to be able to go.
Yeah.
Um, Stupid questions because I mean you can jump on the internet. I mean, man, there's no end of bullshit on there. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, it's a common
but
problem.
I think
I guess that's a common theme for you is just the ability to cut through the noise is really important.
yeah, not waste time on the bullshit. Really, you know what I mean? It's only 24 hours in the day.
And now, like, and when we talk about the differences between now and then, let's talk about a little bit more tangible. Like, when we talk about your trading account balances, what's the difference between then and now?
It depends how you look at it. The damage that got done by Luna, and I had another investment that collapsed before that. So,
Sure.
you know, it's been two wipeouts basically, or close to. But
Yeah.
I mean, as opposed to 18 2 months 2 years ago, or 18 months 2 years ago,
Yeah.
I think there's no comparison really. I mean, consistently 10% a month is minimum now. So
That's amazing. So even even in spite of all those losses, you now are like kind of reliably like clawing all that back.
yeah,
That's pretty
yeah, so
huge.
definitely. I mean, if you even it out over some months are better than others, but I mean, across all the accounts, yeah, generally anywhere between 8 to 10% a month is the goal.
That's awesome. Yeah. And
Yeah.
what would you say like or like what are some recent results? Like what have you done this month? I know you've been doing a lot of like trading the prop firm accounts. Like can you tell me like a little bit about your performance recently?
Yeah, this month's been a pretty good month. 60%. I think one's actually 15%. So I think, yeah, it's been a pretty good month. The multiple accounts, I think they average out that they're about, what's that, about 9%, and there's another one that's 15%. So,
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So pretty consistent. That's also double what your average is. So that's really good. I guess that's not you can't do that every month, but that's nice when it happens.
last month, the better months, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. So I just want to ask you kind of a question to think about the future, like in a perfect world. So like if you woke up tomorrow and like all of your trading challenges were solved, right? Like number one, what would that world look like? And then number two, do you think like the tools that you're currently using would still fit into that world?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. I think if I had a perfect training setup, I probably wouldn't leave the pool,
Yeah.
just live next to the pool.
Yeah.
But I think I can see as kind of the delta and the other like tools like the prime and the alpha, and that become it gets developed. I can see that being a very solid producer. I guess as you know, I've got a history with EAs as well, so
Yeah.
I see there being a very good opportunity to be able to automate the delta and the alpha and the gamma prime into something where it's not solely automated, but if you can understand the market structure and the different aspects of what's being taught,
Yeah.
then I think you really be able to
And those return
tie in semi-automation into manual trading is going to be massive.
Yeah, and I guess for to let everyone know, you're kind of doing that now, where you have a semi-automated trading strategy structure where you're taking signals from the PrimeIQ tools, and then you're sending that out through like some automation that you kind of can turn on and off. Is that correct?
Yeah, so basically, I'll have a trading master account, which is for all my manual trades, which gets filtered out to um, 7 or 8, or there's 9 slaves now. And that's all set in a ratio of whatever equity is in that account. And then I guess for each sub account, they also have an EA attached, which super small, like 0.5%, 1% a week sort of target.
Yeah.
And once that hits, it turns off. Once that enters the trade, it sends an alert to me, and then I check it. I check the position against the tools. If I like it, I'll stay in, and if I don't, I get out of it.
Cool.
Reset the EA.
Nice. That's awesome. And you're deciding based on the volume profile, right? And that education you've used basically is, like you said, market structure. Is that correct?
And so basically, I'm just using volume profiling, right? And then just supply and demand areas.
Nice.
So it's
Can you
order
learn that?
blocks.
Can you learn that inside the group, the volume profiling?
You told me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. There we go. Yeah. There you go. Just a little shameless plug. Yeah.
Hey,
So
you told me that. That's the best thing you've ever told me.
yeah, it's good. It's so good. And thankfully, it doesn't.
I don't even have. As soon as I load a chart and there's tick volume, it's off. I don't even look at that anymore.
I love it. Yeah, it's amazing. That's cool. Okay, so now can you kind of share like, you know, clearly this product and these tools have like impacted you, financially, especially lately. If that trajectory continues over the next few years, like, where do you see yourself financially over the next 3 to 5 years?
The next 3 to 5 years, I'll be doing this full time.
Okay, you
You
know
know,
that.
I won't be
Okay.
being sent to some of the places I get sent to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be. This would be a full time
So you,
situation. Whereas,
but you feel
I mean, I
confident
could
in what you're doing enough that you know that you'll be doing this full time.
in 6 to 12 months, yeah, for sure.
Wow, that's amazing. 6 to 12 months. Great. So you're talking a 2 year turnaround from not knowing, basically not confident in the market to now you know that you're going to be able to do this full time in 24 months. That's a pretty good turnaround.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident to say by January next year, I should be in a position to be able to do it full time.
That's amazing. And you know, that takes 2 years to learn like a skill like HVAC or, like some trade skill. And now we're talking about learning trading in the same amount of period. Yeah, the income potential as you know now, is quite lucrative when you get the system figured out.
Yeah, it's just getting that system figured out, and then just having the discipline.
Yeah.
Just having the discipline.
Woo, that's a
Yeah,
big one.
that's the tricky bit, man. Like, I mean, even sometimes I find myself, I'll see a trade and be like, oh, maybe not. And then sometimes, you'll be sitting at the computer and you'll be like, oh, I'm really bored for trade. You got to kind of tell yourself, it's not there, it's not there.
That's good. That kind of leads into my next question. Like, how do you see yourself have kind of changed since like starting this journey, right? You just kind of talked about it, right? About you're more patient
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So a lot more picky now, right? And a lot more. I think before it was a lot. Before I had a system in place that I had confidence in, I felt a lot more like gambling.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot more like I'm looking for that rush of Whereas now it's a lot more of I wouldn't say a guess, but it's a lot more educated using the tools and using the confluences that come across from each indicator and each different type of indicator that you're going to use.
Yeah.
Um, and that said, it also comes down to a risk management side of things, right? Now I'm a lot more confident with the trade assistant that we've got and things like that, where I don't have to second guess on what calculation sizes and
Yeah.
what my risk's going to be per position and things like that. And just getting that, not so much only the trading signals, but also your system in place, right? So you know how every terminal works, you know how to put your trade on, you know how to take it off. Like
Yeah.
that is also a big part of having the confidence to be able to go from one bit of software to another bit of software and still know how to place the trade and have the right risk management so that you don't miss a decimal point and
Yeah.
buy 100 lots.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's weird how often that admin stuff is really the killer of a successful trader otherwise, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some of the times that I've done lot calculations manually, and you know, try to do it in a rush because you think you're going to miss the trade, and then you make it pretty solid mistake. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's I guess it's a marrying up all the tools across the different platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
for me, I think
And having your hand held
well,
through that process is quite valuable as well, right?
is yes. But as you know, for me, it's been a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I know we've had some late conversations with you, pretty stressed out trying to figure this stuff out. So it's cool to see you have come out the other side on your way up the mountain, as it were. Um, okay, I think we've touched this a little bit, but it's good to hear your personal idea of what you think your biggest achievement is since kind of like starting this journey with PrimeIQ Lab tools, the SGA volume profile, and all that.
I think the biggest achievement now is month in and month out success. Like the last 4 months, I haven't had a loser. So
That's
I mean,
amazing. That's
and it's
huge.
not that I've had losing trades.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't get
yeah.
me wrong, losing trades, but every month has been successful since
Woo, woo.
actually almost January. Yeah,
I got a little tear. I got a little tear. That's a proud mentor right here. I love that.
it's been good. It's been good. So getting back on track. So.
That's good. Awesome. So, based on our discussion, it sounds like when you first came, I'll say to me, even though we kind of been through a couple channels now, but when we first found each other, you kind of lacked the confidence and the strategy and the discipline to consistently pull money out of the market. And then through, the past year and a half of going through the training with us and with me and with the tools, you've now kind of transformed yourself into someone who is not only confident, but you plan on taking this all the way to full time in the next 6 to 9, 12 months.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think the biggest change has been, like I said, cutting the noise and finding the system that works. Yeah, so I've reduced from looking at 20 or 30 different assets to trade, and now that I pretty much only trade gold.
Yeah,
So I mean, I'm trading a single asset. Will that increase? Yeah, it will. In the next 12 months, I'll start to look at other asset classes and other assets that I'm comfortable to trade. But
yeah,
now we're full time, pretty demanding job. Having my system in place, the amount of time that I need to designate to actually look at the charts now that I've pretty much been watching it for 12 months,
yeah,
which makes it hard to do function because you kind of know where the price goes. But
yeah.
I think I think it's just getting the system in place, right? So I get up in the morning, a couple of hours before work. I'll have a look on the charts for an hour, read the news, follow up what's happening. I'll mark my alerts, set my levels, go to work. Nothing goes off, and then I'll check it again at lunchtime,
Nice.
check it again before London Open, and then if nothing's hit, I'll sit out and wait until New York,
That's
watch
am-
the Open, and then that's me. That's done.
that's amazing.
Repeat,
And we're talking
repeat.
and we're talking about full time. I imagine as an engineer, your salary is decent. So when we're talking full time, a replacement of your current salary, right?
Yeah, it's on track. I
Yeah,
mean, this month's more than double my salary.
yeah, that's amazing. Wow, yeah, that's great, right? Yeah, let's try to do that every month. Let's
Yeah.
try to do that every month at scale, right? I think,
Well, that's the idea. It's gradually going to start scaling now.
yeah, and I think we can probably
Numbers.
reliably do that up to about 100 grand a month. But I think this is at some point you run into the problems that hedge funds have, right? Like you can only deploy so much money. But I mean, if we can deploy 100K a month and we could make a good percentage return on that, I think that's okay for most people.
Yeah, and I think one thing that people need to step away from is looking at it as dollar value.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is you've got to look at it in percentage. Like
Yeah.
once you scale it, you might have a $50,000 account and make 1%, $500. You might think, oh, who cares, But
Yeah.
if you scale that, got 10 of those accounts,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's like, you know,
That's
my concept is how to stack all the capital and then just little wins,
that's good.
little wins each week,
That's real good
one to
money.
2%.
Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to add or elaborate about, Prime IQ or the tools or anything like that, your experience?
Yeah,
Me?
I think the tools and the experience are really, really, really good. I mean, the level of value that's being added into the Discord is phenomenal. Some of the some of the alpha that gets dropped from some of the likes of like Gorilla and yourself, and
Yeah.
even the development of some of the members. Like some of the members, like you speak to them. I mean, I've been in touch with a few of them now for like 12, 18 months as well, since the early days, and some of them are crushing it as well. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, your guys that don't even look at the charts, they just trade off the tools. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, that's
it's
wild.
crazy.
Yeah, that is
It's really
wild.
good. And it's at the same time, I find it inspiring to see, there's other people striving to achieve the same as me. So I guess that like, I'm a big believer in the field of community. So
Yeah.
it's
Love that.
really, really good to
I love
kind of be
that.
going on the journey with people.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's everything. Are you comfortable using what we talked about, like to share with other people?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm all for it.
Awesome. I love it. That
It's,
was
take the money off the big boys and give it to us.
yeah. Those big boys. Yeah, perfect. That's great. That's gonna be awesome.